students, today we will be covering our topic of specialized cell. I have already done a previous video of ciliated cells and RBCs, that is red blood cells. I have already done these two topics in my previous videos. So now in the topic of specialized cell, we are left with Palisade mesophyll cells, and the other one is root hair cells. So these two topics we are going to do today. So let's keep your focus on the board. So now we are ready. This is just a root hair cell. It's a small segment of a root, and this is the whole diagram of it. So these are the hairs, these are root hairs, and this is sap vacuole, and this is nucleus. Every cell of plant has a nucleus. So if we see this, if this is the cell wall, so why there is a large extension? It's basically a large T. It's like this, a vertical, a horizontal T. So it's just a leg-like extension. This is a leg-like extension to provide more surface area. This cell will absorb more. This cell will absorb more water. This cell, of course, this cell, because it has more surface area, it has more contact points with the water and the soil to absorb the minerals, to absorb the ions or the water. So what do we understand? This is a leg-like extension. The shape of a root hair cell is a T. The extension is because to provide more surface area, to provide more contact points with the soil, so cell can absorb more minerals. So the root can absorb more minerals and more water. This is a small cell, a small root hair cell. Which cell will absorb more? Of course this one, because it has higher surface area. And now this sap vacuole is so much bigger. This is filled with water and cell sap. This is filled with cell sap. So this sap vacuole is exerting a pressure on the cell wall. This is applying a special pressure on the cell wall. This pressure is called as Turgor pressure. So why is it applying? Just suppose this is a swimming pool, this is water. The water will apply the force on the basement and on the walls. So this is helping the root hair cell to maintain its shape. Otherwise, just suppose it's a root here, it's a root of a tree. It has a billions and millions tons of weight on it. So what is helping the root to maintain its shape? It is sap vacuole, which is exerting a pressure. That pressure is called as Turgor pressure. So let's write now all the points that we have discussed right now. What is root hair cell? Root hair cell is a T-shaped cell. T-shaped cell that has a leg-like extension to provide more surface area, that means more contact points, so more minerals as well as water can be absorbed. So let's see what I have written here. If you focus, I have written a T-shaped cell. You all can see it's a T-shaped cell. This is a letter T. So this is a leg-like extension. This is like a leg-like extension to provide more surface area. It's give more surface area. It takes more space. That means more contact points. That means more contact points. What do you mean? This is soil. This is soil all over here. So now there are this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, this point. In this cell, there are only like 10 spots, 10 contact points. But this has like more than 50 contact points. So what it means? More contact points, so more minerals as well as more water can be absorbed. This has 10 contact points, only few water droplets can be absorbed from the soil. But this can absorb more minerals and more water. Now we will write the second point. The second point is due to large sap vacuole, it applies turgor pressure which help to maintain the shape of the cell. What I am saying in this point, due to large sap vacuole, this is a large sap vacuole which is it applies turgor pressure, which is applying turgor pressure on the walls, which help to maintain the shape of the cell. Do you all understand this? I hope so. If not, you can rewind the video. Now we will be talking about the Palisade mesophyll cells. The Palisade cells. Palisade cells. First, let's draw a Palisade cell. This has a proper shape because I have talked to you about why plant cells has a proper shape because of the cell wall. This is cell vacuole. Now let's draw chloroplast. It has an abundant number of chloroplasts. It has so many chloroplasts to maximize the absorption of sunlight, to trap sunlight as much as they can. This is nucleus. This is chloroplast, this is chloroplast, this is chloroplast. More than 50, at least more than 50 chloroplasts are each Palisade mesophyll cell has. There is no proper fixed number. It can be 30, it can be 60, it can be 50, it can be 55. But it has an abundant number of chloroplasts. If you all see that these chloroplasts, because of the vacuole, is close to the cell wall. Why is that? Because this vacuole is having larger space and pushing the cell chloroplast against the walls. So these chloroplasts are near the cell wall, near the cell membrane. That's the second point. This is the second point. This is the first point. Now the third point. Here is the sunlight. These cells will move. This cell will move here, travel here. This will travel here. This will travel here. This will travel here. All chloroplasts will gather at the point where sunlight is reaching. Because these cells are phototactic. This is a new name for all you guys, phototactic, which means they sense sunlight and travel in response to the sunlight. The sunlight is reaching here, all chloroplasts will gather at this point. Either they are cysty, either they are abundant in number. Now let's try. There is abundant of chloroplast in each Palisade cell chloroplast in Palisade mesophyll cells are phototactic. What is the means of phototactic? Which leads to the sunlight. Where sunlight is, it travels to the source of sunlight. Do you all understand this point? Now the third point. These, due to sap vacuole, the chloroplasts are near the cell wall. If I talk about a matter of fact, these Palisade mesophyll cells, this is a leaf. If we take a horizontal transverse section of this leaf, this is a leaf from inside. This layer, the first layer is called epidermis. That layers protect from mechanical damage. If any bacteria, any insect is trying to damage the leaf, this epidermis layer will protect it. So what is the first layer of cells here? Is Palisade mesophyll cells. Why they are so near the epidermis? To absorb more sunlight. Like if I'm in the house, I'm in my room, I don't have contact with the sunlight, I will move into my open ground where I have direct contact with the sunlight. So same is with the Palisade mesophyll cells. They are just beneath the epidermis to absorb more sunlight. Instead of being down in the cell, instead of being beneath the spongy mesophyll cells, they are above the spongy mesophyll cells. So what do you understand by this point? They are near the upper epidermis to absorb the maximum sunlight. Let's read again. What I said, there is abundant of chloroplast in each Palisade mesophyll cells. There can be 50, there can be 60. Chloroplasts in Palisade mesophyll cells are phototactic. They can move, they can sense the source of sunlight and move to that place where the sunlight has direct contact with the surface. Due to sap vacuole in chloroplast are near the cell wall. Due to sap vacuole, this sap vacuole pushes the chloroplast near the cell wall. They are near the upper epidermis to absorb the maximum sunlight. They are near the epidermis, they are near the upper layer, so they can absorb more sunlight, so they can have direct contact with the sunlight. If we talk about the last point, it's a fifth point. The fifth point is really easy but a little confusing. These cells are tightly packed. They don't even have a single millimeter, decimeter distance between them. They are tightly packed to accommodate the maximum number of them. So there can be like 50 Palisade mesophyll cells to accommodate the maximum number. So not even a single Palisade mesophyll cell is left behind. They are tightly packed together to accommodate the maximum number of them. So this is all for the Palisade mesophyll cell and root hair cells. I hope you all understand. You can copy all the notes on my board. So thank you for watching my video. Thank you guys. Allah.